How important was what Felix gave y'all the other night, and how much y'all need more of that from him on Saturday?
It's great, and do we need more? Absolutely. He continues to work hard individually, trying to get better. Know that we need that from him. Cade, we need it from Cade, and yeah, we'd love to get more of it.
Coach, historically in this matchup, I mean, Alabama scores a ton of points, but you guys have had some success against them. What do you think about the style that you guys play that kind of keeps their offense down?
Well, I don't know. I mean, some of it we all know. It goes when you're making shots, and I know this when the games are over with. Again, I talk about they're trying to do what they're doing, we're trying to do what we're doing, and they still sometimes get the look I think they would say that was good. And as you know, sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But I just feel that both teams have really have competed at such a high level both ways, and I think they're a better defensive team this year. I'm really impressed with them as offensive rebounders, and I look at how they play. I mean, we know that Nate has done a tremendous job with his style, implementing what he wants to get done, and got his players buying into their roles. And I'm just impressed with the consistency in which they've played the last couple of years since he's been there, and the fact that they know what they're looking for, and he'll tweak some things here or there, but he has stayed true to what he believes.
Is there a common thread for the slow starts, or has it been something different?
No, again, I got to give credit to our opponent. You know, they started switching the other night at LSU. We had prepared for them to be in drop coverage, which they've been in most of the time at what we watched, and so they came out and started switching ball screens and those type things, and it took us longer to adjust than you'd like, but again, I've got to give credit to our opponent. I mean, we've turned it over sometimes in ways that we can't, but again, you've got to give credit to our opponent, because I don't think we're trying to turn it over, but for whatever reason we have.
Because someone who's been around the game for a while, is something with the different styles that teams have, is that something that's like a basketball lover, you enjoy that, or is that something that as a coach it's kind of difficult to prepare when teams start doing so many different things?
Well, I don't know if teams are doing a lot of different things. I think there's a lot of people that are into the zoom action, a lot of ball screens, and driving the ball. I mean, there's only so many different things you can do. I mean, some people want to be a heavy ball screen team, with a lot of teams with their zoom actions, but everybody you play, I mean, there's some things that you've seen probably for the most part, certainly by this time of the year. And everybody, and again, you can tell what coaches obviously are emphasizing more, but we're in a league where there's a lot of skilled players, a lot of teams that are doing a lot more movement away from the ball. Still a league that relies heavily on ball screens. Some teams will still throw it inside, but it's just from game to game. And whatever that team's got, you got to try to adjust to it, and hope that you can get your guys prepared to play against what that team's doing.
What makes Mark Sears one of the best guards in this league?
Well, again, he's had great success. He should be a confident player. You know, again, you got to give a lot of credit to him and to Nate and his staff. I mean, they put him in a great position, and he knows that system, what they want from him. And but he's been in a lot of high-level games, and he pretty much, I think he does what Nate wants him to do. And you know, I think a couple weeks back, he wasn't playing well. He didn't play the whole half of the game, but it speaks volumes to he and his program in terms of what standard they set, and the fact that he has come back, and I think he's been terrific. He's been as consistent as any guard in the country in his time in the league.
Rick, what's the challenge of keeping your guys on the edge every game when there's seeding on the line every game? You still got tournaments to come. What's the challenge like?
Well, again, everybody this time of year obviously is talking about that, but we wouldn't be here if you hadn't done the work you need to do early in the year. So the same focus that you talked about back then, you talk about the importance of those games. After those games, you scrub them out, then you talk about how you got to continue to get better. It doesn't change. I mean, we've all got a system and the way we do things, but the fact that we're in this position, it's still about the process that we believe in, what we go through, and being focused on today. Yesterday's practice was important to us. today will be equally as important, if not more. And then we've got to be in the mindset to go out and know that we're going to have to compete at a high level against an outstanding team that has had great success for a long time, and a team that they're going to be very disciplined to their system. They're going to do what they do, and you're not on edge. You saw what happened the other night. I think 23, 24 threes, and so you know what they're capable of.
What does it mean to you for Dick Vitale to be here calling games now?
You know what? I was talking to Dick yesterday, and he's just so authentic. And you know, during our conversation, he talked about you know, the last 3 years, and obviously being with him at his gala last couple of years. But he talked a lot about how tough it's been when you have had to fight the different cancers he's had to fight. But yet, his deep passion and love for wanting to do this, and I don't think it's as easy as people might think. He wants to do it because, one, I think he has a love for the game. I think that he still has a great passion to be out amongst people, and I know he has a tremendous drive to continue to build the V Foundation through to help with pediatric cancer. But I know he's grateful. I know he feels he's been extremely blessed, and we obviously talk about our faith with each other, but he knows there's been a lot of people that prayed for him through the years, but he got emotional yesterday on the phone, and just I love him to death, like everybody, because his passion, his transparency is real, and but he doesn't want to stop, which I admire that.
Coach, Igor kind of slumping right now. What do you think is going
No,
on?
I think he's just got to, again, slow down, settle down, understand again exactly what we need him to do, and if he'll do that, he's going to be fine. And right now is as good a time as any to start getting consistent and doing what we know he's capable of. I mean, you go back when he was rebounding the ball at a high level, that's when he was playing his best basketball, and when he was really locked in defensively. And I think if he gets back to that mindset, again, offensively, you know, by now we all need to know our roles and what we need to do, and he does that, and it's just a matter of putting it all together.
When you talked about Vitale during that phone call, how much of that conversation is the game and how much is personal, and do those two kind of mix together?
Well, I mean, it's both. I mean, we talked about both, but, you know, we've known each other for a long, long time. You know, when I was at Providence College, he came up and did our Midnight Madness, and we did the Dick Vitale Sound Alike, which our student body there at the time got really into it, and you know, he was there for our Midnight Madness, and through the years, and being part of his, you know, the gala that he puts on in Florida is you can't go there and not come away with a different mindset. You can't, and it's just overwhelming, emotional in terms of being there and seeing, especially when the kids come up, and it's just an incredible event. But he loves basketball. I mean, he would tell you that God has blessed us both with, you know, being a part of this game, and the fact that he's influenced so many campuses. When he was, I mean, I'm sure our student body will be excited he's going to be in the building. It's always been that way, and that won't change. And the fact that he's still is putting the effort into doing it, and like I said, I'm sure it's not. I know he still has to rest his voice. I know they've told him, you know, you can't do as much, get to the game, go to shoot-arounds and all that, because if he could, he wouldn't change. But I was talking with Jimmy Dykes yesterday, and we're talking about how hard he worked to get, he was a guy that always prepared for games. I mean, he just didn't walk in, and I mean, he'd call you a week out and want to talk about the team, wanted to make sure he was on line with our team and game, all that. He really worked hard at it, and that was what the call was about yesterday to start with. I mean, he called, wanted to know, you know, tell me more about your team, and he said, I've been following you, I've been watching you, but, you know, just tell me a little bit more. And that's just a great tribute to him, and the fact that he still wanted to work at it the way he does.
After the LSU game, you said you wanted Chaz to take even more shots after watching film. How much did he embrace your criticism of that?
Well, he does. I mean, we've had a couple weeks. We've had some guys under the weather, and he's been one of them. But he needs to. You know, we need him to. He needs to, and so we'll see.
Felix didn't play.
Last one.
Felix didn't play really early in his childhood. He started playing basketball late in his career. How impressive is it to just see him take, you know, his college career to the next level when he didn't really start at an early age.
You said Felix, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I remember seeing Felix in high school, and we wanted him. We recruited him, and but as much as I've seen him improve there, I think his improvement this year has been really remarkable. I mean, I see what he's doing, and I'm excited because I think he's just getting started, and he is learning so much from our scheme of things. You know, he had played in a certain system at Ohio State. Obviously, it's a different system in high school, and sometimes, you know, when you talk about ball screen coverage and you learn the different ways that we want to do it compared to what he did at other places, it's different. But his willingness to learn and work has been really impressive, and again, I think he's just getting started.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,